My first guest is the executive director of the State Employees Association of North Carolina, Ardis Watkins. Ardis, really appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for having us to lend the voice of state employees and retirees to the conversation.
The last time the legislature let consecutive years go by without salary increases for state employees was in 2009 through 2011. Now, we were coming out of a recession then, but what did we learn from that experience that can inform today's situation?
Well, we learned that if we do that, if we go without giving an increase to state employees, we'll see them leave. And when they leave, what will happen is the budget won't keep up with population growth. That's what happened. In 2009, there were the same amount of employees as we have today, basically, but we have 2 million more North Carolinians. So every single North Carolinian gets less services. If you don't take care of your personnel, they leave. And if you don't fund them, they can't be there.
Yeah,
so
are we seeing that? Are we seeing that? That employee retention is an issue?
Oh, it's been terrible. I mean, since COVID, it's never bounced back. And those levels are absolutely atrocious. In 23-24, $1.2 billion reverted back to the state from vacant positions, lapsed salaries from vacant positions.
Yeah.
And so 1.1 billion was used just to keep agencies going, to pay the bills. Now, this is employees doing extra work, but the state funded the agencies with that money that was meant for salaries. And then of what was left, 2/3 of the only raise they've gotten in recent years, state employees paid for themselves with vacant salaries, vacant positions.
You've been talking about these vacancies. What do you say to the lawmakers who feel there is too much bloat in the workforce and maybe those vacancies shouldn't be filled?
I have no idea how you could look at a taxpayer and tell them they have too much bloat in state government when you have 2 million more taxpayers served by the same number of people you were serving them in 2009. People know there's not too many state employees. They know when they try to register a new business and there's not enough people, so it takes them longer. They know through DMV lines. They know through things that they see, but there's things they don't know about, like newborn screening being delayed or autopsies being delayed that affect the public health and safety.
The state is North Carolina's largest employer. You've got to think that state workers are in every district. In an election year, you have to think this is something that lawmakers are getting pressure about. But you argue this isn't just an issue that state employees should care about, that there's a larger community economic ripple effect here.
Absolutely. I mean, state employees are paying for their own raises. Make no mistake with what's reverting to the state. So that's bad. You never want that situation. But the highest price is being paid by the public. They really are not getting things timely, if at all, that affect public safety and public health. And, I gave the examples a minute ago, but in addition, there's simple things that mean so much, like people at Department of Agriculture, scientists who make sure a label of chemicals contains what it says it does, or folks who make sure there's the newborn formula has in it what it's supposed to and nothing it's not supposed to. Those are state employees in part.
Ardis, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.